Hello and welcome back to yet another episode of Corgi Town, USA, a podcast for pets and their people. We may lose equipment tonight.
You'll see an earthquake. We're in Phoenix, Arizona. We don't have earthquakes, but we do have corgis.
Or hearing bleep, and then everything goes dead.
Yes.
We'll be right back. We have Mortimer and Digby in the studio, and it is zoomies aplenty. So yeah, thanks for rolling with us. This is Corgi Town, USA, where the corgis run the town. So we're used to kind of rolling with it. And if you've been sticking with us this last 2 seasons here into season 3, then you are well familiar with the pandemonium that can be.
That's right.
Town, USA. Oh goodness. But anyway, as always, I'm Candy, founder of Corgi Town, USA. Eventually we'll be a resort for pets and their people. For now, we are a podcast for pets and their people. In my lap is Chuckles, our spokescorg, and we do have Booger as well as the Digby Mortimer tornado in the studio. Hammer's around here somewhere, and also my co-host and executive producer.
Hi, I'm Catherine Napoli.
Catherine Napoli. Yes. So I discovered this creator. This is part of our creator series. And of course, we're Corgi podcast, about Corgi lifestyle, we're about pet lifestyle. But on the creator, we like to bring on people who either create art or other items that are Corgi inspired. But this lovely young lady makes confectionaries.
Yes.
And
I'm hungry.
I know we're going to talk about, I'm just going to be like, okay, what are the snacks? But she made some Corgi, and the penmanship, or I don't know, penmanship, the craftsmanship, I mean, just incredible.
Yeah.
And so bring her on and talk about what she does. Should we bring her on?
Absolutely.
Okay. We will be welcoming Jessie with Crystle Studios. Jessie, welcome. Thanks for joining
us. Hello. Well, thank you so much. It's amazing to be here. I appreciate you guys' time and invitation to be a part of this.
Yeah.
I'm really excited.
Yeah, we are too. I mean, we're like already hungry. We're gonna be talking about food, and we're basically corgis ourselves, so we're always hungry.
Right. I haven't had breakfast yet, so I'm just like, oh man, we're gonna talk about treats and all that.
Oh, it is on.
It is on.
It is on. Well, for starters, please tell us about you. Tell us about Jessie. Tell us about your story.
Awesome. My name's Jessie Crystle. I am the owner of Crystle Studios and also MacaronArt. I am an artist, a baker, and an advocate for individualistic growth within the creatives of today. So I provide creative resources, promoting importance of mental health, and I also provide creative services such as custom art and custom hand-painted desserts such as macarons. I hope I said that right.
We have a big debate on how to say that here.
I know.
I can't say it, so I'm just going to butcher it. I hope everybody's okay with that.
There's two different desserts.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And we'll get to that. So please continue your story.
Yes. So I provide custom French macarons. I hand paint each one to tailor to any kind of event, or if it's a special birthday or celebration, I create portrait cakes. I create pet portraits, which is my favorite because I love pets. So pet portraits is one of my favorite ones to create.
That is awesome. I'm tickled to death over this.
Yeah. and to do the art on something that small is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, you got to be good. I have no artistic talent whatsoever, so you got to be good.
I don't either. I claim to be an artist because I'm a drummer, but really,
that joke is an art.
Yeah, well, that's a musical art.
Yeah, but you know that joke about who's the person that hangs around a bunch of musicians, a drummer. I mean, it's kind of true. Like I'm probably the least artistic. Anyway, I digress. Started creating art on macarons.
Well, I come from a traditional art background. Ever since I was little, I've always loved art, and it was a way for me to express myself and to really connect with others and connect with myself. So I've studied art through, well, first I taught myself for a very long time, and then for college I studied fine art and digital art. And one day someone just said, "Hey, I have a party. Can you try to attempt these macarons?" And I was like, "Okay, it should be it should be fine. It's a cookie, right?" And I was so wrong. It was the most finicky pastry I've ever had to try and make. And I think along the process, I kind of just I fell in love with the process because I was just like, I gotta get this right. I gotta perfect this. I gotta learn this. And later on, I realized that it's just another canvas. And I saw another bakery called Honey and Butter in Irvine, and they create characters, and that inspired me to give it a try and create macarons and paint on them as well. So I just use edible food paint or food gel, and that's how it started.
And that's a whole other process of learning. I mean, I see what you mean. It is another medium. It's another canvas, but it is another medium, and there's a learning curve to using a new medium.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and not only that, well, the the shell itself is going to be curved, and I know as a child I used to it's called writing pisanka, and it's Ukrainian Easter eggs for those who are familiar, and so most of us know how to draw piece of paper on the desk, easy, right? And
Flatsy doozies.
Right. And what you're doing, Jessie, it's on a curved surface. It's that changes the dynamics so much.
You have to have a steady hand.
Yeah.
Oh yes, absolutely. Especially if I'm not just creating one. I had to create 12 or 34. Sometimes for weddings I do 200. So I had to copy it exactly. Well, not exactly, but just close as it can be.
How long did that take you to do 200?
Thankfully macarons can be frozen. So I split it up through probably a week. So I have 2 bake days, I have 2 paint days, and then filling another few days. So I kind of have to split it up.
Yeah, you have a process. There's a whole process involved. Wow. So let's talk about, as we're talking about this type of pastry, and I like to bake too.
You're a fabulous baker.
Are you?
Oh, thank you. I will say I do a number of things in my life, but the only thing I confidently say I'm really good at is I am a good baker. I'm a really good baker. But I haven't tried any of these super tricky things with like phyllo dough and some of these kind of the bellini of baking. Yep. Yeah. So hats off to you for sure. But I've never tried making this. Now, we talked about what exactly is a macaron, and there's different ways
macaron.
Macaron. I don't know how to say any of them, so I'm just gonna butcher them all and let you.
She says it better than I do. It's like spot on.
So a macaron is French.
Okay.
And for our listening audience, you're seeing them more and more in your supermarket. It's a small pastry, and the filling is usually the same color, and they're rainbow colors. A lot of times they're very, a lot of different colors. The shell, Jessie, please correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know everything about it, but the shell is pretty much mostly or completely egg white and sugar.
Yes. So it's a meringue-based cookie sandwich. Yeah. Basically, yeah.
Imagine, you've seen a meringue or whatever. You've had something with meringue on it, and you see how easily it, you touch it and the meringue breaks. So this is what Jessie's painting on all the time. A macaroon, right? A macaroon is it's more it's traditionally a more Jewish, that Slavic Jewish, that Polish Jewish dessert, fun thing. It is and that's what most of us are familiar with. And that's
macaroon.
Yeah, with 2 O's,
right,
2 O's.
2 O's.
2 O's. And that's that coconut based kind of fun cookie that you see around.
So but now we're talking about
macarons.
Yes.
Macarons.
Macaron.
I'm just gonna keep butchering.
So there you have fun to say. Yeah.
So you told us a little bit about the events, and a lot of what you do is event based. Tell us about like the kind that you make and the kind of specific events. You mentioned weddings. Give us a little bit of a picture about that, if you don't mind.
Oh yeah. I usually do macaron portrait cakes, which are it's bigger than normal, so it's about 6 to 8 inch cakes. I bake bigger ones, and I design a portrait digitally, and then I put the face on top of it, and then I hand paint the face on there. So, and usually I do like birthdays, such as birthdays and baby showers, and pet portraits. I create pet portraits for mostly weddings. Actually, a lot of people are requesting pet portraits for weddings. I've had 2 so
These
far.
are our people, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah. Yay! I love it. Yeah, I'm really ecstatic to do type of work like that. That just brings so much joy and excitement, and make that celebration so much more special and memorable.
Yeah.
And that truly makes me happy. But what else? I usually do themed ones. Like if there's a themed party for a movie, I create characters from that movie, or it depends if they want the style of that exact movie, or have kind of my creative freedom with it and design something myself and then create it for them for their party.
Stranger Things, the
Stranger
season
Things,
premiere
Yes,
is
coming up.
Yeah. And I have I'm in pretty deep. I have a tattoo like this.
I love it.
That's my Demogorgon. It says stranger in the upside
cool.
down. And upside down is upside down. Yeah. That's the first thing
next week. Is that next week?
It's next week. It's Friday. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so exciting.
Well, at the time this airs, it'll be past. But yeah. As we record, it is next week. That's the first thing I thought of. Oh my gosh, Demogorgon macarons.
Oh, I have. I've made them.
You have?
I believe it was last season. Yeah, I'll share it to you. I made Demogorgon ones and like 80s themed ones. It was really fun.
That's amazing.
Candy will be ordering them for her birthday next year.
Well, I was actually thinking for Chuckle's birthday.
Oh, for Chuckle's birthday. That sounds good.
I thought we might go down to Murrieta where the Country Kennels is and have a pool party, because we live in Arizona. Yeah. So it's too hot in August to do anything for his birthday. But I thought maybe we could do there if they'll let me rent the space out. Maybe
sounds fun.
Maybe we'll talk, because it would be some custom stuff. But as we're talking about this, and I was so happy and excited to discover you, not only because of what you do is just amazing, but you had done a Corgi line. I guess you had done some. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah.
Are you at liberty?
Oh, of course. Yeah. Corgis have been very, very like trendy more right now, or not right now, but like for a long time. Yes. And when I started, I've had a lot of requests for Corgis, especially, and bulldogs, and what else? There's Shibas as well. Yep. So I've made a lot of Corgis for birthdays, and I love creating different poses too, because I can have them like laying down or like sitting up, or if it's just the face or the cute little butts. I always do like little cute little Corgi butts.
We all love Corgi butts. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, yes, that's awesome.
Those are so fun.
Corgi butt cookies.
Corgi butt cookies. Yes. You're speaking our language right now.
Absolutely.
And we talk a lot about that. The paparazzi. Everywhere you go, everybody wants to see the corgis. They say, "Oh, corgi." But this my first corgi that I had. He was born in 2004. That was my Lilo, the most precious boy there ever was. Lilo. I had 15 beautiful years with him. Yes. We said sent him over the bridge in 2019. But he, when I first got him, nobody knew what kind of dog he was. They would say, "What kind of dog is that?" Yeah, nobody knew. And then it's just been these last few years that people, "Oh goodness, you have corgis. We love corgis." And it's a different world than when I first got him, and nobody knew
very much so
what corgis were. So yeah, really picked up. But that's why we're here.
That's right.
It is to serve our fellow corgi lovers. So thank you for telling us about your corgi.
Oh, yeah.
Macarons.
Macarons.
Beautiful.
So do you have a favorite that you make?
Oh, yeah. Favorite of mine. They're all like dog macarons.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It just whenever I create it and paint it, it just like brings so much joy. Like I'm making the tiny little noses and then like the tongue, and it's just the little ears. I can't. I have to like pause and just like, I don't want to. How can someone eat this? No.
Yeah. Yeah. First of all, the artistry on any, I admire anyone who does not just baking, like you're an amazing baker, but then you do the artistry on that. And I sit there and I'm like, oh, it's so beautiful, but I want to eat it. It looks so delicious, but I want, and macarons are really quite delicious. What flavors do you do?
Oh, so flavors has always been fun for me because my grandma is actually a cook and baker. She studied chemistry through at school for baking, so she really loved figuring out the ingredients, what it does for that recipe, what she can add. Like she really gone down to the molecular level, and she loved to experiment in flavors. And she created her own cookbook in the Philippines. And um, as soon as I started this baking business, I just had fun with it. I love creating flavors that you wouldn't think to be on a macaron, because if you think chocolate chip cookies or like a pie, like any intricate dessert, I always think in my mind, like, how can I bring that dessert into the macaron? Like when you bite into it, I really want you to think of it, like down to the texture, the hints, the notes, everything. So
wow.
yes. So it's really, really fun. I change flavors every month because I love to experiment in that sense and have that creativity with it.
Do you have a favorite flavor that you've made?
Yes. There's like a yam casserole one that I actually really liked for Thanksgiving.
Did you say yam casserole?
Yam casserole.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, yes. So I create my own marshmallow fluff and the yam casserole and the crumble, that brown sugar crumble in there. Yeah.
Cat's over here popping a biscuit over.
Is that your favorite? Is that your favorite dessert?
I love, well, I love, I love that whole yam casserole thing. I'm not a marshmallow fan on my potatoes, but the yams and the sugar.
In a macaron though?
Like, in a macaron. And here's the thing about them. Again, dear viewer, dear listener, you've seen them, I'm sure, in the grocery stores or in a bakery or something. They are always pastel in color, almost always pastel in color, and the flavor tends to be that delicate. And so the flavors are a little anyway. I am blown away by the fact that Jessie can do something that is as bold as a yam casserole flavor in a macaron. We're ordering them. Candy, we're ordering them.
Be prepared.
Be prepared.
It's coming.
And the thing is, a lot of people say like, oh, macarons are too sweet. And I understand how it can be really sweet because there's 3 different types of sugar in them. So for flavorings, I really want to have the focus on the flavor instead of that sweetness. Right. So to play with different flavors, to have that sweetness, but then also I want to add in a little bit of salty or acid just to like combat that sweetness. Wow. So I really think about the flavor.
There's that baking chemistry.
Yeah.
Speaking.
Absolutely.
That's one of my favorite things to do in chocolate cake is to add a fresh cup of brewed coffee in it because it really brings out the cocoa flavor.
Definitely kicks up the cocoa.
Oh yeah, vanilla.
I'm a sucker for stuff like that. So yeah. Oh my gosh. And your description too. Just, I'm going to bake this and with the crumble and you have us just drooling over here.
I do. I love it. I love what I do. And I'm very grateful to be able to share this with people and to bring that much positivity and the sense of like adventure and that wonder and immersive experience with just a dessert. Like it's such a gift that I'm really grateful to have to give and provide for people.
It is. It is definitely a gift.
Yeah, and we're grateful for it too. About your process and timeline is if someone wanted to do something custom for you.
Absolutely. So I definitely recommend ordering at least a month in advance because right now I am booked for at least 2 months. So I take about like a week to finish your order. And I have to create the design that you desire. If it's something that's already made, like they just want me to copy it, then that can be a little faster. But the design process, the artist process of drawing it and creating it, and then having them to confirm before I bake, and then I take about 4 days to complete. If it's more like a wedding, I'll definitely need to have like 2 to 3 weeks to create it. But to bake 1 dozen is about, depending on the intricacy, and I want to go at the highest intricacy, I guess, for measure, is 8 hours of baking, because the piping process can take a while, because if you're doing different elements within that 3D macaron, it has to dry and set, and then you have to pipe it, let it dry, set, and then pipe another element. So that's what creates that 3D thing in the macaron.
Amazing.
That is amazing. And I have to say, this is a testament to your patience. I think it doesn't get talked about a lot, but as artists,
no.
right, same. I'm not, but as artists and creators, to be really good at a craft, it takes an amazing amount of patience, and especially when it sounds like you maybe have a little bit of that inner overachiever as well. You want it as perfect as possible.
Of course.
So you're going to really work to that. But when it came to baking, I've made a couple wedding cakes. The biggest one I made was for 180 people. It was a 4-tier. It weighed 54 pounds. It was buttercream and chocolate and vanilla. And yes, but
I'm hungry.
But it was, I know we're killing ourselves with this. But it was it was essentially just a wedding cake. It wasn't a whole lot of frills, but it was dip smooth, because
yep, it's a lot of repeating process.
It is. And it took me 17 hours from start to finish. And just with everything, but I thought, man, thank goodness I'm not having to actually decorate or put some like accoutrement on this, because that's the part where I lose interest. Right. I love the baking process, putting it together, making it look nice. But when it comes to what you're talking about, I don't have the mental patience. It takes a lot of patience.
It takes a lot. I mean, you watch even cooking shows, and the fondant is too thin. The fondant is too thick. The fondant has cracked. And again,
patience. Amazing
egg
patience.
white, sugar. That is super, super, super delicate. And then I'm going to paint on this.
Right.
I mean, Jessie,
I'm not done yet.
Crazy.
It took me 5 years to find my recipe and to be comfortable with just making it. And it's interesting because macarons have different variables that can go wrong if there's too much humidity in your environment. If your oven has hot spots, you have to really be in relationship with your oven. Like, you have to know your oven so well.
Wow.
And down
going
to
to like a guest kitchen could be problematic for you.
Oh yeah. So I have to have like an oven thermometer all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a French pastry, and the French and their pastries are very perfectionist.
Particular, which is
very particular. And
that's how we get these masterpieces.
Yeah, exactly. That's their thing.
So do you teach? Do you ever teach how to do this?
I do, yes. Okay. So I share my process on YouTube as well. And I do have a Patreon, which is a class subscription service where I share my process every month, recipes, even my base recipe I share with everybody. All the things that have gone wrong, I always share with them, because learning this on my own was just the hardest thing, because there's so many different ingredients out there. So, and that can really, because there's different types too. There's like French, there's Swiss, and there's Italian. So there's 3 different processes to make macarons. And that just confused me so much. So through trial and error, I share that with my followers. And if you're on the highest tier, you also get a free box every month. So it's like a macaron subscription service. So you get a free box and different flavors.
Can we access this through your website?
Yes.
Okay, so for those listening, it's www.crystlestudios.com, and that's CRYSTLE studios.com. I'll also share that in the comments section of the video and on our audio platforms as well. But you can go to crystlestudios.com and you can learn more about Jessie's subscription service and about her art and these amazing pastries. And can you
also get discounts on Patreon?
Discounts.
Yes, for orders. Yeah.
Awesome.
See, so here's what I would do. I would be like the person that, goes on Patreon and watches and tries it once and then curses a lot.
There's that patience thing.
And there's that patience thing.
Yeah.
And then I'd be waiting for my box so I could, just cry in my box of macarons and then just order a whole bunch.
And eat too many in one sitting.
But it's okay. It's okay. They have
you can freeze them for up to 3 months too, which is a great thing.
Right. You can freeze them as well. But in life in general, it is so interesting to see how the process is done. To see how cakes are made, to see how the macarons are made, to see how the painting is going. And if that's not your thing, just order them from Jessie. Just order.
But at least a month in advance.
At least a month.
Yeah. If it's a custom order, absolutely. Yeah.
Yes.
Give her time, because
give her time. And if you're getting married, give her like 6 months.
Yeah.
Oh,
same
wow.
Same as with the place. Same as with the place that you're booking. Same as with your flowers. Give her 6
The more
months.
time, the better.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Not a lot of people understand that. They're like, oh, can I get it 2 days? I'm like, no, I'm so sorry. I'm booked, but I'll pay you double. I'm like, it doesn't matter about the money. It's all about the time. I don't have the time to have, to create it for you.
You're not mitochondria. You can't split in two and then be doing double the work. And
oh, that'd be amazing.
Right? Like, I'm so efficient now. There's 2 of me. But yeah, just the 8 hours alone of baking. I mean, that's just a portion of it. That's not the creation. So cool. So tell us what's in the future for Crystle Studios. You do the Patreon, you teach, you also make custom orders. Tell us what's in the future for your art.
I would love to have a brick and mortar that has a cafe where I provide macarons, but I also want to extend my menu to have desserts that use the ingredients that macarons do not, because macarons is all egg whites, and I don't know what to do with my egg yolks. So I really want to create more custards, more like gelato even. So I don't want to have like any waste at all in my business. So to have a cafe and to also have a space for creatives where they can attend workshops, they can attend classes where they have the resources to grow their own business. And that's something I really want to strive to create a space for somebody, because as creatives, it's really hard to be an entrepreneur or business-minded person. Like, you think creatively and then to think business marketing-wise, like, ooh, I had to learn all that myself. And that's something I don't want anyone to go through alone. And that's my dream.
Left brain meets right brain. Yeah.
Yes. Hi, how are you?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, so we encourage everyone to make those orders. Check out the Patreon account. Definitely support Jessie, support Crystle Studios, because as we do this, we're helping her build this brick and mortar.
That's right. And there's a lot of
you are.
I know. I just made ice cream this morning.
Yeah, you brought some to me.
And I made ice cream.
And it's and I used chocolate keto ice cream, and I used all the egg yolks that you don't use.
Yep.
Well, and you have chickens, so those were from your chickens.
They were very fresh. I did.
Cool. Maybe
she brought me eggs from her chickens and ice cream today from the chickens.
But I could do lots of
You're
things.
You're so lucky. Yes. Very versatile. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, you have the chickens that give you that, and then Digby herds them for you.
Digby herds them for me. Little formation.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. We don't want to keep you here all night, but we appreciate you coming on. Everyone, please go to crystlestudios.com. It's shared on the banner if you're watching on YouTube. Again, we'll drop it in the comments, but it is www.crystle studios.com. Please check out her work. This is amazing. We are like starving now. We're drooling.
And send the pictures of your little corgis, and Crystle will Crystle will make you beautiful cookies, macarons,
with at least a month in advance. You've heard
the process.
Guys. You've heard the
you guys are amazing.
Yep. You've heard the process. As patient as she is to create, all she asks is that you are patient to allow her the space.
Yes.
That's right. So.
Amazing.
You know, all our listeners are planning their little corgi birthday parties month to month in advance.
I'm just planning chocolate.
And I ship nationwide. I'm not sure if I told you guys. I ship nationwide.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep. So yes, Jessie's got to be part of your little corgi's birthday party.
Yeah. Oh, I'd love that. It'd be an honor.
We'll have you creating some more corgis. And again, this is for Corgi Nation. That's our watchers, our listeners. It's Crystle Studios, CRYSTLE, crystlestudios.com. Yes, please. You are also helping an independent artist, which here on the Creator Series, we are passionate about.
Absolutely.
So.
Yeah.
Well, Jessie, thank you so much for sharing all that with us. We appreciate your time so much.
Thank you. This is such an honor to be here and to have you guys share my work. I'm really, really, really grateful to you and what you do every day. You're inspiring, you're motivational, and I thank you for what you do.
Thank you. That just made our night.
Oh, you guys made my whole month. Thank you.
Oh, I'm glad we could make that happen. Well, people, order your Corgi macarons.
Macaron.
Macarons. Still can't say it right. Well, have a great night, Jessie. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Yeah, our waistlines are in trouble.
Yes, right. Yeah. Oh gosh, yes.
Yeah, we're gonna get macaron wasted.
We are. They're so delicious.
Yeah,
melty
but if you we hope that you've enjoyed this broadcast. We definitely recommend that you go to crystlestudios.com and make an order, learn more about it. I mean, here I forgot to have her show what she had after us, but she actually, if you go to her website, I mean, these designs are incredible. It's just absolutely, that's why I wanted to have her on. She did a Corgi series and I was like, what, we have to get her on here. But she also does a lot of other things as well, and all of them are intricate. They're incredible artwork, and they certainly sound delicious, and I will be looking forward to trying them.
Absolutely.
Well, we're here for you every Thursday, all things corgi lifestyle, health of the breed, being pet parents in general. Let us know what you want to hear. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. Please subscribe, like, and subscribe to this video, and follow our podcast. We are a small business. We need your shout outs. We need your sharing. We need your likes. We appreciate all of them, and we appreciate feedback. If you want to message us, tell us what you want to hear about here on the Corgi Town USA network. So from Chuckles, Cat, Digby, Candy, Mortimer, Booger, Hammer, Digby from afar, have a great night. We'll see you next week.
Bye.